City Hall. And this is City Hall Park. People who've been watching for a long time might remember that this is where I came just as the lockdowns began, and a bunch of people, some of which who eventually became part of that New York Freedom Fighters group, which was sort of just a, I don't know, I guess a loose affiliation, but remember, it was right over here, a bunch of really calm and polite old ladies, essentially, you know, all kinds of different people, but it was like totally calm. It was like this. People just sitting around with signs. This was May. No. This was April, I think, 2020. It was the very first COVID lockdown protest in all of New York City. And people who were watching will remember that the NYPD marched in here basically immediately with helmets and tough guys and elbow pads and sticks and the backpacks saying, "This is the New York Police Department. You are ordered to leave," or whatever that message says. And that was the incident that gave rise to my whole conversation with professional douchebag Alan Dershowitz. I had invited him on. That took place in May, a couple weeks after the incident here in the park, and I invited him on. I had told him this on the phone before. This is how you know he's a liar, because he said that I somehow tricked him. But I didn't. I said to him on the phone, "Will you come on the show and talk to me about, first of all, whether or not it's constitutional for Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's going to become the mayor maybe, he's running." I said, "Dersh, is it constitutional for the governor to just shut down a permitted protest?" And that's when Dersh said absolutely, and in fact, if he wanted to, you know, he could jail you up and, not jail you, but, you know, hold you down and force vaccinate you. That's what he said. And I asked him, where is that in the Constitution? Led to a whole big thing. But the point in talking about it right now is that it caused me to wonder, why does the governor of New York choose to shoot down a calm? Nobody there was doing any violence at all. No terrorist headdresses, no masks covering people's faces to facilitate anonymous crime. But the governor chose to shut it down, and Dersh confirmed that it was constitutional. Nobody challenged that. Nobody sued that. The governor, I don't know the terms of the law or the statutes under which the governor is allowed to do that, but I don't doubt that the governor is allowed to shut down a protest if it's dangerous. This is the Woolworth building, right? That was the tallest building in New York City at one point when it was constructed, I'm pretty sure. Right? I think it's the Woolworth. 233. Yeah, it says Woolworth right on it. Isn't that interesting? 233. They can't help themselves. So anyway, it's constitutional for the governor to shut down a protest and bring in the cops, the heavies, and really move everybody out. Why can't they do that at a violent protest, whether it's on Columbia University campus or at a Tesla dealership? And by the way, for all the people who are upset that Pam Bondi and the rest of the Department of Justice is talking about enforcing things based on anti-Semitism, I agree with you. That should not be a part of it. We don't want a special law for a particular type of discrimination. What they should be saying is, the First Amendment allows you to protest, but it just doesn't allow you to obstruct the rights of other students or other people who are trying to attend class or peacefully exist on campus without being surrounded and threatened and intimidated. I don't think it has anything to do with your religion. And the fact that they couch it in anti-Semitism or a response to it, I think really only serves to make people further angry about it. This is another one of these weird sigils. Now look, what do they have? Can people make that out? It looks like soldiers from the Revolution. We see those pants? I don't know if you can see that. It's very faint. Actually, you got to come to more of an acute angle here. Is it work for the camera? Can people make that out? It must not be forgotten that the park is still the refuge of the people. Damn, that's an appropriate thing to have there, given the conversation about Andrew Cuomo shutting down a peaceful protest. That's the contrast, is that everybody here was peaceful, and that was the First Amendment. But when you are intimidating other students, I mean, I really want to know what Abby Phillips would say if this debate was about Columbia students dressing up in KKK outfits and intimidating black students on campus. I bet you she'd feel a little bit differently about it. But anyway, lots of stuff happening today. You know, Marco Rubio got the Ukrainians to agree to a ceasefire. That was good. I must admit, I'm not crazy about Marco Rubio, but he seems to be doing a very good job as Secretary of State. I don't know that I feel that way. Do you know if there was a protest here earlier today?
I started at 2 p.m. I didn't see no protest.
Okay, thanks. See, the reason I came down here to City Hall was because I found one of these protest calendars that said there was to be a protest. I don't know, maybe some other people saw that too. Maybe there's just satellite news trucks outside City Hall all the time. I don't know. But there's no protest. So I don't know what these protest calendar websites, is it, how do we know who's making that, and how do they know if and when there's going to be a protest? And the bigger question is, wouldn't they also want to make a fake one? The fake one would be, you know, sort of a distraction, keep your enemies guessing, not really know what would happen or not. There's Pace University over there. So we've spoken about that before. That's where our buddy Felix Sater went to school. And the FBI has had recruiting events over there, and different FBI dopes have given speeches and things. I don't know if it's affiliated with the FBI, but, you know, there's the university. The FBI building is just down there. You could literally walk. I don't know if they would, though. There was no activity, at least as of the time I left the apartment, no activity on the docket for Eric Adams' case or any of my cases either. Interesting to observe. Sometimes there's a lot of activity, sometimes not. In my case, against the city of New York, there was a really important development right before the Emile Beauvais announcement came down to dismiss the charges. I had a motion in Goodman versus the City of New York sitting on the docket for like 3 months, and 1 or 2 days prior to the dismissal order in the Eric Adams case, my case was dismissed. I don't know what that means. I've speculated, but of course there's no way to know what the court is thinking about. I've speculated that what's that helicopter doing? Hovering? Is that looking at, is it maybe Collect Pond Park? Let's go over there. I've speculated that, you know, when Trump came in, they might have been kind of like on the back foot, not knowing what to do. And then when Norm and his crew of lawfare criminals put together their plan, they said, okay, so dismiss Goodman's case, keep all that evidence about Eric Adams and the corrupt NYPD out of the public record. Excuse me, do you know if there was a protest earlier?
Oh no, there's one right now.
There's one now?
Yes.
Where, when, where?
Ward Street.
Where is it?
Worth.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I guess maybe it was right. So that helicopter is checking out the protest. I guess it's marching to City Hall. Maybe we'll see some chaos right now. I'm not really in the mood to get injured, but Worth Street is right over here. Yeah, it's right by Collect Pond Park. So we're back to the courthouse again. But yeah, Trump got a Tesla. I guess he got a Model S Plaid. I don't know if it's Plaid, it was a Model S, but why would you not get a Plaid if you're Donald Trump? And then somebody said he's gonna give it away. I noticed Laura posting, she's angling for baby number 15 and a free car, perhaps. Detention center. No, the federal detention center where Epstein, you can just see the top of it right over here. I think they closed it, by the way. That's it right there, the corner. But I think it's closed. And also Diddy is not in there. Diddy is in the one in Brooklyn where they had Ghislaine Maxwell, and also with Sam Bankman-Fried, who they said they threw him in solitary confinement for having that Tucker Carlson interview. They said it was unauthorized, but I don't understand. How did he get access to Zoom or whatever he was talking to Tucker Carlson on without people from the prison giving him that? And who would do that if it wasn't authorized? I mean, I wonder if somebody authorized it and then they stuck him in the shoe to rile the guy. I don't know. It was an interesting interview, that SBF interview. So where is this protest? There's Worth Street. I don't really see it. Huh. Rubio makes I didn't hear what happened with Cuba, but Brian is telling us Rubio made no remarks about Cuba. I heard him talking about the ceasefire with Ukraine. So the helicopter is up there. But Worth Street's isn't this Worth Street? Pretty sure. I don't know, sometimes cops tell you things that are maybe not exactly. Here's another sigil. Those guys look like they're from out of town. Pretty calm today, isn't it? It's a beautiful day again. It's in the 60s. I don't know what happened to my North Face jacket. I hope I didn't lose it. I think maybe it's in my car, but you know, sometimes. Yeah, see, we got the satellite trucks moving around, so maybe those guys know where the protest is happening. This is the FBI building right here. So Pace is up there, FBI. That's Thomas Paine, I guess. This is his park. What does it say? No, it's not. Abraham de Pister. That's incredibly difficult to read. He was the mayor, and somebody's got garbage at his feet. There's the helo. Yeah, this is Worth Street right here. So where is the protest? What was that guy talking about? I know it's Worth Street because that's where I forget what that building is, but it's on Worth Street. I'm waiting for you, stupid. Is that guy from New Jersey or something? So what? Where is this protest? I guess maybe I should just wait here, but I don't really like doing that. I'd prefer to just walk, and if we see it, we see it. get kettled in here by a bunch of stupid cops. Let's see what's going on in the park. This person should be just arrested immediately for using this motorized device on the sidewalk. This person too, for using a bicycle on the sidewalk. Only fucking assholes ride bicycles on the sidewalk. So this is a hurry. Maybe they're, let's see. Here's another genius with his kid on a thing going on the sidewalk where he shouldn't be, begging for an accident. I've been noticing a lot of people with masks on too. Is that because they're going to go riot with backpacks? You should not be allowed to wear a mask. That's it. From now on, if you're at a protest in a mask, that should be arrestable. See, those guys look like cops over there in the suits. They're ready for something. So, I mean, see, wouldn't it make sense to run a fake protest calendar so that the cops do all of this and then nothing happens, and then the next day they have to be like, wait a minute, is there a protest? Isn't there a protest? I don't know. What do people think? It seems like, wait, what's going on up there? Nah, just regular New York City activity. I don't see or hear any protest type action around. These guys look like kind of cop executives, right? In that cop van, standing around smoking and texting. That's cop-like, I would say. What the hell is going on here? Were you just massaging the FBI?
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't tell anyone.
That is a massage table, right?
Yeah, it is.
You were massaging the FBI?
Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. I mean, she seemed serious, didn't she? So you've got massages happening. I mean, I don't know. Does that happen at your job? Why else would she be behind that fence? She didn't seem to be lying. Weird. Yeah, the unicycle, the electric unicycle. Be nice to Cullen. Please don't insult co-hosts here in the chat. I don't know where this protest is, but we have a lot of police vans for delivering police. It was supposed to be at City Hall, though, so why did that guy say Worth Street? You can never listen. It's a fake. I agree. It's fake. There's not going to be a protest. So that guy said it was at Worth Street, and it's not. I was down there waiting at City Hall for like an hour, just on Twitter, and nothing. So I think I'm going to head up. Yeah, I agree. Those guys look like NYPD detectives. That looks like an NYPD van. Everything around here is cops and court and all that. So this is the perfect spot to hang out with a bunch of other NYPD people in suits and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes while you text. And then tell people there's going to be a protest so that you can get... By the way, wouldn't it be in the police's interest to have a fake protest so that you hire a lot of them on overtime? You guys see any protest activity around here?
Not yet. Not yet. They end up usually at the park.
But do you think there's going to be one today?
Don't know, sir.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
Nobody knows, yeah. Thanks. Nah, I don't think so. I think you'd see activity here already, because it was already... I mean, what the hell is that helicopter looking at? Let's go this way. We'll see. terrible story about that guy, Jamie White from InfoWars. I don't know him. I don't think I've ever met him. But he was young. He was in his 20s. Have people heard any details? I mean, I know he was murdered, but do we know who did it or how? Or he was on that Ukraine kill list. Was it somebody from Ukraine? Was it somebody who sees that and is motivated by it? By the way, if Ukraine is an ally of the United States, what are they doing making kill lists of American journalists and citizens? And why doesn't Donald Trump immediately demand that whoever made that list be delivered to the United States and put them in Gitmo? They're saying Musk is on that list. People are upset that Trump has declared or will declare burning up Tesla dealerships and trucks or cars is domestic terrorism. I mean, isn't it? Obviously, terrorism is doing violence to achieve a political objective. So if you're targeting people for their car brand, it's pretty scary because, you know, they're like, oh, sell your Tesla. I don't know about you, but I'm not really in the financial position to just be able to sell my car and get another car, particularly not a Tesla. I don't think most people. And by the way, if you're telling everyone to sell their Tesla, who are they selling it to, and what will the market for it be? They obviously just want to destroy Tesla, destroy Musk. You know, he said he had that cyber attack from IP addresses near Ukraine. Now, what does that mean? That's near Ukraine. That's sort of imprecise language, but if he's the guy giving Ukraine internet and they're using it to hack him, why not just turn it off immediately? Speaking of turning things off, that fat douche from Canada whose brother was a crackhead, what is this guy's name? Ford. Paul Ford? But he says, oh, we're going to just turn off the electricity for the entire east coast of the United States. If I were the president of the United States, I would tell him immediately, just the fact that you said that, we're now terminating that contract and applying tariffs, and the United States will never buy electricity from Canada again. I found out that we've been doing that since the 60s or the 70s, but it really accelerated after 2021 when they closed the Indian Head nuclear power plant. I think that was Kathy Hochul who decided to do that. We could look into it, but I think when you consider, I mean, if you turned off the electricity for the entire east coast of the United States, how many people would die? How many old people have oxygen machines and, you know, I'm sure your food would rot. Like, honestly, my apartment becomes uninhabitable when there's no electricity. There was a power outage in 2003 or something that lasted for more than a week, and you can't flush the toilet because the water, it comes to the building through pressure, but then it's pumped to the ceiling, you know, to the roof where they have storage container, and then gravity creates the pressure in the apartments. So when the power went out, everybody used up water, and I guess they knew this would happen, and I didn't at that time. And less than a day, you couldn't flush the toilet, there was no running water to drink, all the water at the supermarkets got sold out. I had to leave New York City. It was, I'm trying to remember how I did that. I had to wait for the train to start working again because I didn't own a car at that time. Yeah, I would just leave immediately. But anyway, the point is, that's like threatening war. I don't know what the hell Canada thinks this is, but if I were Donald Trump, I would say, you know, we're just divesting everything. Canada is so cool and tough and doesn't need the United States. Fine, go it alone. You're on your own. Go sell your electricity to somebody else. Somebody said that China bought the electric power plant in Canada. I don't know if that's true or false, but just buying electricity, you know, they spend all this time and money trying to kill everybody in countries with oil because they've determined that energy is the master resource, but yet they don't seem to care that Canada is controlling all of this energy. What is this place? Telfar. It's like a lighting rental place. Or maybe they are renting the lighting, filming in progress. That's why it looks like a lighting rental place. What do we got these guys doing over here? They don't look like a film crew.
What's up, bud? No.
These guys are allergic to video cameras. Weird. This is such a shit neighborhood, operated by criminals. I gotta go to that Banksy museum. I say it all the time. Well, I had hoped to give everybody a protest, but oh yeah, the thing I wanted to get into with regard to Andrew Cuomo and the protest is, why did they shut down that peaceful COVID protest, but they never say anything about any violent protest? Like, why? First of all, how does the governor find out that a bunch of old ladies are hanging out in City Hall Park? And if he can find out about that immediately, how come he can't find out about any of these protests at Columbia or at FIT? I was talking yesterday about the protest at FIT, and I found my tweet here of this guy, Victor Para. And so the image on the left is the image from the New York Post. And the image on the right is the image that I recorded with my video camera at the FIT protest. So there's the guy where he let that little Candora down, or whatever that scarf is called. There he is, arrested in Rikers Island. That, according to a police lieutenant, is an uncanny resemblance. And then they were there outside the FIT protest. People can check that out. You know, these are all counterfeit goods, and you're supporting crime buying this stuff. You can't buy this. This is all crime, counterfeit goods. You come to New York City, don't support crime and terrorism. Don't buy counterfeit goods. These guys need to be off the street. Criminals. Where the hell are the police? But anyway, if people want to go onto my X account and see that whole encounter with Victor Para, it's still there. I'm on X at JG_CSTT. Is this Elon Musk? Good thing nobody is irritating the Cybertruck. You know, you ladies are buying counterfeit goods. You're supporting crime buying this stuff. Don't buy any of it. These guys are criminals. Look at that, buying Cybertrucks. They probably own this. You believe that? These tourists come here. They think they run New York City. Tell me who I should and should not tell to keep bicycles off the street. Meanwhile, we've got a criminal operation on this block. You're the fucking asshole, criminal bitch. Stop taking pictures. What's with these people? I'm disrupting their right to do crime? You gonna follow me? It's ridiculous. Why don't the police have a unit that does exactly what I do? If I had like Sal and Eric and John with me and they were still cops, we could just walk around like this and arrest like 1 million people a day. Actually, they don't need me. Those guys don't need me. There's no protest, we would hear it. How much does it cost the police to put the helicopter up there? And by the way, who's looking at all of these criminals selling the counterfeit goods to idiot tourists who are promoting crime in this city? They come here, they think they're citizens of the world and New York is for everyone. for them to come and ride bicycles and leave dog crap on the sidewalk and patronize criminals. They love it. Obviously someone who reacts like that to me walking around with a camera is likely to be engaged in something he's not supposed to be doing. Don't you think? Now, I'm pretty sure the Red Camera store used to be around here. It went out of business a while ago. Nikon bought Red. I don't think that's very good for them for their future, but people on this channel don't care about that kind of stuff. I still have a big counter lawfare report that I want to give, but it's proving to be a complicated problem that I've not yet... Oh, wait a minute. Is this the street where I lose signal? It's proving to be a complicated problem that I don't yet have where I want it to be. So I don't want to reveal, but it is interesting to observe the criminals. Wait a minute.
I think of it as also like
Notice of appearance. Okay. We got a different lawyer for the city of New York in my appeal of Goodman versus the city of New York. So I've got to get the appellate brief in on that. I mean, I've become like a law firm. I have more legal cases going than I don't know who, but it's kind of a thing. What a mess this city is. Terrible. So the other thing is, I was watching Tucker Carlson interview Chris Cuomo. What an idiot that guy is. So his brother is running for mayor. Something tells me he's going to win. And that's not good. But what was I going to tell everybody about Andrew Cuomo and Tucker Carlson? Yeah, it's staying aware of all the dynamic threats in New York City and keeping the thread of my thoughts running is sometimes tricky. Andrew Cuomo, he said a lot of dumb stuff. I mean, he really believes, or at least he seems to, the mainstream news nonsense. I'll tell you what, him and Tucker Carlson, they were there like, oh, you're the deep state. No, you're the deep state. Ha ha ha, there is no deep state. It just was so ridiculous to watch. Very upsetting, but I forgot what Andrew Cuomo was saying. If anybody remembers what I was talking about, jog my memory. More legal cases than Perkins Coie, right? 21st century 3D Spider-Man, what about that? Yeah, they released a new 3D camera from Blackmagic Design, but yeah, well, I don't think we need to build a new prison every day. I just think if you take people who are in prison for things they shouldn't be there for, like smoking weed or, you know, blowing the whistle on the FBI, and started putting people in prison who actually should be there, then we might get somewhere. But right, more cases. What was I going to say about Cuomo and Tucker? I don't remember. Deep throat. Yeah, the cops obviously get a cut or they'd be shutting that down. Nah, that guy's not wanted. That guy was the lookout for the operation on the street there. That's obviously a sophisticated thing. They have the merchandise inside a cyber truck, which I think the cheapest one is $100,000. Right? The way those operations work is they got lookouts on the street. When the cops come, they tell them to roll that stuff up. And, you know, they obviously know some nuance. Now, wait a minute. Are we frozen here again? No. They obviously know some nuance of the law. I mean, these guys have been chased by the cops enough to know what you need to do to get away from them. Yeah, I got more legal cases going than Perkins Coie because we still don't know what's going to happen in the United States versus Eric Adams. And you know, we see these announcements, they're arresting drug dealers, they're arresting this, they're arresting that. Okay, that's fine. What about the long list of people that we have seen large amounts of evidence that they've been doing crimes forever? The Clintons, James Comey, Ben Wittes, Norm Eisen. Why don't we indict these people? I like it that they got rid of Norm's security clearance, but maybe they will. Maybe this stuff takes more time than we want it to. I'm just not getting a very good vibe. And also, so we've got Kash Patel saying he's going to reveal something about the January 6th bomber, the pipe bomber. But for the longest time, there have been people putting together information that they say indicates it was Ivan Raiklin, who's apparently a personal friend of Kash Patel. So I really doubt he's going to do anything to Raiklin. Here's a store called African Diaspora Goods. I think that's the crap those guys are selling out of the Tesla. Is African Diaspora Goods. Counterfeit goods. I mean, how could people be so stupid? You're also, it's a risk to you. You could be buying a faulty product and interfacing with criminals. Yeah, Fredo. 90,000 is the cheapest. Okay, so still, by the time it's the point of the matter is that wasn't a 1996 F-150. Those guys are making bank. And I don't think they pay taxes. Pretty sure. This is a nice day. See, this is kind of New York City at its nicest. Calm, nobody coming at me on a bicycle. The weather is nice. You could sit out here, have a coffee, glass of wine, whatever you want. Kind of relax. How you guys doing? Drip Drop Cafe. She's got a Bob's Big Boy sticker on her cup there. All this stuff for lease. West Village, hit hard. What street are we on here? Birds chirping. It's kind of nice, right? There's definitely a noticeable difference since Trump came in. A reduction in the density of migrants on the street. But I've also detected over the past few days, some of them seem to be back, almost like they tucked in. And now, you know, gauging the response and seeing, you know, pushing the boundaries, the new boundaries.
Just like real suicide.
Ah, here's another Cybertruck. Let's ask the driver. Hey, has anybody been hassling you about the truck?
I always get it. Not hassled. I had ladies like spit on my car.
Really?
Yeah, they come up while I'm sitting here and they spit on my windshield and walk away. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You look like you could smack a person like that.
Good, probably. I'm not violent. I had other people give me shit where like, oh, you like give me out loud and bullshit saying, hey, oh, look at that truck over there. It's an ugly fucking truck. And then as I'm walking away, I ignore them. They call me an asshole. I'm like, all right.
Well, why are people doing this, man? You have nothing to do with this. You just bought a vehicle.
It's just what it is. You know?
You're getting terrorized.
It's funny how in the beginning, all the conservatives hated it because it's electric, and they're
Right.
like, I want my coal roll diesels. And then now all the ones that are the hippies, I'm like, this is an American-made car.
One other question though, when you
Exactly.
burn it up, all the batteries, isn't that polluting the environment that they want to save?
Hey, they're recycling them now. They're breaking them down and recycling, reusing the lithium.
But not if they burn the car and burn the
Well, if you
dealer.
burn it, yeah, that's different things.
Dude, they've been having
attacking
attacks on
Teslas.
terror
I
on
heard
Tesla
that they're
dealerships.
attacking the concession, the dealerships.
They burned them up
and
in
they burned 'em
Seattle,
up.
4 or 5 of them.
Listen, it is what it is. This world is going to be crazy. You know, way to put it. So
Trump just got one. Did you see?
yeah,
He just
I
got
saw him
pretty
tweeting
good.
saying he's gonna get one. They shouldn't be doing this to Elon. We're gonna go and I'm gonna go buy one for him, support him. You know. So
Listen,
good for
take
him.
care, man. Drive
Take it
safe.
easy, man. Have a good day.
Looks great with the white. Tesla owners. So there we go. Is this a weed place? No, a real pharmacy. All right. I mean, that guy looks to me like a kind of a slap you with an open hand and you're hitting the ground. But I mean, look, listen, people shouldn't be fearful just driving around in their cars from these maniacs. So also deporting this guy, I'm all for it. You know, college and taking the money away from Columbia as well. They should start doing that to NYU. Why aren't we arresting Andrew Weissman? Laura says the Cybertruck is ugly. You know, it's a thing. First of all, from a utility standpoint, maybe it doesn't matter if it's ugly or not ugly, but a lot of people share that. I mean, look at this guy. That's a pissed off little guy. Harry gets pissed. That's hilarious. Yeah, now the other thing we need to deal with is crackhead Barney. So everybody saw that guy. Yeah, this is what I was thinking about. So did we talk about this OIA? Hey guy, that's kind of an older Boston Terrier, huh?
Boston Terrier.
What is this little dog's name?
Samantha.
Hi Samantha, how are you? Whoops, let's get the forward-looking camera. You enjoying the weather? No, she can't be bothered, huh? Have a nice day. That's a New York City dog right there. I almost need like a... If I had AI giving me prompts in the glasses reminding me what the last thing I said was. Deporting the dude. I'm all for that. Let's see if there's any more Teslas parked. Yeah, we see a lot of Teslas actually, so maybe we can ask. I guess you don't always see it with the driver standing right there. Oh yes, Saturday is the Ides of March. No tiny shoes on the dog. I do like it when people have shoes. The funny thing is if you speak to the dog owners with shoes, that woman was stopped in her tracks for some reason. Is this your supercharged Jaguar?
No, it's not, but you know.
But do you want?
Can we fake it like it's mine?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, it's a Maserati, even better.
a Maserati.
No, it is a Jaguar. It is a
It's a
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Do you want to interview us? Like we sat next to them?
Well, if it was yours, we
Now,
would.
here's the thing. What is this? Why the lock boxes here? What
Keys.
Is it art?
No,
I know,
it's-
But how many? It's
I don't know. Somebody's got the keys.
yeah.
So what are you doing? What's going on with this?
This is Crowdsource the Truth. I walk around talking to people. I was just talking to a Tesla owner who's getting attacked.
He's a Tesla owner.
Are you? Have people been attacking your car?
Yeah, but they are attacking him in the city.
They are?
Yeah.
What did they do?
They
Not me, not
they
me. I
throw
live in
things
Florida.
at them. And if it's a Cybertruck,
I love
They
the
go
guy.
nuts.
I love the guy.
Because you know why? I think probably the average person can't tell a Tesla from a Camry, but a Cybertruck is very obvious.
right, that's true.
They are attacking. Those are our wives.
Hello,
So
wives.
Do you know what
Hello,
we're about to
Lisa.
do here?
Open a pop-up bagel store?
This is one of the best bagel stores. Yeah, I almost killed myself.
Have
Yeah.
you had a bagels?
No.
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
What are you guys about to do?
We're waiting to go
into
to
Carbone.
go to Carbone's to have
Italian
probably
food.
The best Italian food.
Well,
in the city.
it might be the second best Italian
Why, who's
food.
the first?
El Molino?
Monty's Trattoria.
Monty's. I grew up with Monty's.
I love
I
it.
grew up in his neighborhood.
Giovanni died, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pietro is still there.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice to meet you guys. Be
Right,
safe
take
in the
care.
Tesla. Take care. I do like a supercharged, anything supercharged. But see, there's nice conversations to be had. This is what I like about New York. You used to be able to do that. You could just walk around in an afternoon. Hi. That guy was waving. You could walk around in an afternoon and get 4 different phone numbers from girls. Now, I don't know, maybe that's coming back, but I don't think so. Also, I'm old now, so here's a Tesla. Is anyone attacking it? So they should kick out Andrew Weissman. They should start arresting more people. I'm sure I've skipped over 15 topics in the course of this ADD extravaganza. But the other thing that's nice in this sunny weather is that I just want to get out and kind of walk around. Any Jaguar after 1987 is junk. Well, that might be right. But there's a big supercharged V8. It might even be a 12-cylinder in that one. Who knows? I think it's a 12-cylinder. But would they supercharge a 12-cylinder? Look at this. It may be technically the second RV we've seen in 2 days. Road tech. It's versatile. See, I mean, there's a ton of Teslas around. I guess you can't miss them. They got the big T on the front. The other thing I saw was that Trump was putting out a Tesla discount code, so I guess maybe that will drive a lot of people to buy Teslas because you got somebody putting out the code for $1 million. I think he's going to get a free Tesla from that. But he already got a free Tesla. No, he said he bought it. Yeah, speaking of NYU Law School and Andrew Weissman, here it is. So what will happen now that these people have lost their security clearance, I wonder? Carbone's is good. I just haven't been to a restaurant in so long. That building looks renovated somehow. But there's the law school over there. Maybe, no, it doesn't, that's just sunny weather crowd in the park. Not even necessarily a protest. Let's see what's going on in the park. Yeah, I mean, one of the most annoying things that happened in this case that I've now appealed is that, and this is an example of what I was talking about, where when you have evidence that proves your case or that they can't get around, they just ignore it. So, Goodman versus the City of New York is that case where I sued the cops and Twitter and Elon Musk because a team of security people, it seems, assaulted and choked me outside of Twitter when I went there to tell him that the FBI had infiltrated and was illegally controlling Twitter. I think they did that because George's brother was monitoring my activity and sending emails to legal@twitter.com, which was Jim Baker at that time. So I think they said, choke Jason and don't let him tell Elon Musk what's going on. I can't believe there's not a single cop in here. There should be like 20 cops walking around telling every person on a bicycle to get it out of here, every person on a skateboard to get it out of here. What have people been telling you girls about their honest political takes?
Hello, what are we on?
What have people been telling you about their honest political takes?
What are we on right now?
This is Crowdsource the Truth.
Oh, what's that?
That's my show on YouTube. What have people been telling you about the hottest political takes?
Hottest one I've heard is that nuclear war is good.
Who said that?
Some guy. Yeah. We've heard some pretty hot takes in this
Was that guy supporting continuing the war in Ukraine?
I think he was.
Because that would lead to nuclear war. Wow,
Yeah.
you're going to get some stupid takes from them. Anyway, good luck. Have a nice day. Pretty calm. See, the problem is these guys aren't even looking. So for them to say, oh, we're not going to hurt anybody is a pretty far-fetched claim because they don't even know what they're doing. But I think people are really getting a sense of how the city comes alive when the weather is nice.
It's a bar that like
This is maybe a feeling that hasn't been around for a while because, you know, we had the lockdowns and then all that stuff. So it definitely feels like a spring day. Satellite trucks waiting for a riot. I feel like I keep starting topics and then forgetting them. Let's see. Oh yeah. The Allegheny Medical Examiner has been served. That's what I mean. I have so many legal cases going. It's difficult to keep straight in my mind. And that's one of the things that George's brother is trying to do, to stack up more nonsense so that I can't concentrate on the important things like the Allegheny County Medical Examiner lying to us about how they identified Thomas Crooks on the roof. They don't want to tell us. And even though, oh right, I was telling everybody about my appeal in Goodman versus the City of New York and how they 86 evidence that would win the case. So one of the claims in the case was that the police had denied my First Amendment rights because when I went to the 10th precinct the following day or the next, within the next day or two to show them evidence that I had been choked and to augment the report, Chandler Castro said there was no assault, there is no report, and he explained that because I got a summons, the police know how to work it out so that this is now the stipulated reality of what happened. We investigated and there was no assault according to him. So by refusing to take the evidence, there's no record of an assault. When I said that Castro denied my First Amendment rights by not allowing me to make a police report, the judge responded with some bullshit about, Castro didn't know that I was a journalist, so he wasn't denying my First Amendment rights. That's not it at all. Part of the First Amendment is your freedom to seek redress for grievances with the government, including the police. So what I was saying and what I said in the motion for relief from judgment was, you don't understand what I'm talking about. It's got nothing to do with journalism. It's the police refusing to take a report after I was assaulted by somebody who the police know. And they dismissed the case because she said, oh, the 1983 claim doesn't, the 847 USC Is that it? 1983, whichever it is, 18 USC. The statute, she says I didn't meet the high bar, and is talking all about journalism. But I'm talking about the police are not allowed to lie and then deny you the right to provide a police report with evidence that proves that they're lying. But the judge just said, no, he wasn't doing anything to stop you from doing journalism, and so dismissed. The other thing another judge did, I don't want to say yet because I'm still trying to unwind it. Allegheny County Medical Examiner is not related to the Arkansas Medical Examiner. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner gave Ken Silva a report that said, an autopsy report that said, you know, this is the autopsy of Thomas Crooks. So I sent them a whole set of requests trying to find out how they made that determination, because it seems like they just decided. Shouldn't be riding those on the sidewalk. And when I asked them to provide the evidence of how they decided that, they refused. Then they missed the deadline and they lost in the lawsuit. Then they did something screwy and provided no reason why they missed the deadline, but they just reopened the case and flipped it so that they found in their favor. So now I had to start an appeal in the Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas. And that is underway. That's being served to the Allegheny County Medical Examiner today or tomorrow. So that case will go on. But the thing that's important about that case is that them obstructing the details and evidence that would tell us how they determined it correctly, hiding evidence about the altered that it was Thomas Crooks. So what I'm alleging is there's a coordinated conspiracy that involves the Beaver County ESU, certain members of the Butler County, because the coroner was the Butler County coroner who delivered the body to the Allegheny County Medical Examiner. And the FBI told, or the ATF, I believe, told Matthew Crooks that they identified the body on the roof based on a serial number on the gun, and that Matthew Crooks was the owner of the gun. So they determined that it was his son on the roof. How do they know somebody didn't steal the gun from his son and go up to the roof and get killed? It doesn't seem like a very thorough way to identify the guy, and they did not go on to say that they collected a toothbrush from the father and then identified the kid with DNA. But if everything is on the up and up, certainly the Allegheny County Medical Examiner should have no issue with telling us about how this body on the roof was positively ID'd as Thomas Crooks. But they don't want to do that. There is a group of Ethiopian girls who board. Oh, really? Skateboarders? It seems to me that every Ethiopian woman who I've ever met has been beautiful, and they have British accents. It's confusing. I was like, where are you from? And they're like, Ethiopia. I was like, wow. That's very far away from any place I've ever been. Camo pants. Interesting. So, I mean, we'll see, you know. I don't know if the Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas in the county of Allegheny is corrupt or not, but it seems every single judge I'm getting in front of in the Southern District of New York is.
Right.
So I noticed George's brother seems to be preoccupied with posting things on Twitter about Doge interfering with Social Security. That's a pretty good sales pitch, saying salam alechem to a Jewish guy. I don't think he's going to give you money for that. Really bad. But anyway, I don't know. The question in the headline here was, are we on the verge of Civil War 2.0? And I thought I would be landing in the middle of a giant protest over there, but now I'm just wondering if that wasn't some sort of fake move to trick the cops, or I don't know. But anyway, I try to keep these walk videos to an hour in length unless anybody has any comments or questions they want to ask or have me address or anything like that. People are pissed that Trump told everybody to primary Thomas Massey. What happened to the guy with the red hair that was screaming? There's a guy. Oh yeah, that guy. Did we interview him? I spoke to him on the phone. I don't remember if he came on the show or not. He was talking about coming on the show, but then he got really weird and he started posting messages that seemed to indicate that he was just playing games. Didn't seem to be a legit guy. And then John Cullen recently has located something in the Unsteady Dave video where you see the cop who's wearing the body cam that gives us the video where you see the infrared light. That's the Butler County PD. I forget the number of his body cam, maybe it's 211. But the person on the roof throws something at the cop. It looks like a sock. Maybe like someone put something in a sock and tied it and throwed it, or a bag or something like that. And it's speculated that this was meth. And I'm like, well, I don't know how anybody arrived at that, but okay, let's explore it. Why would somebody be throwing meth from the roof at the cops? I mean, I guess if, I don't know, you try to analyze the logic of something like that, it's not going to go anywhere, but the speculation from the person who said this was that Unsteady Dave was using meth. I have no evidence of that. I don't know if that's true or not. It's something that somebody said. But Unsteady Dave is a really weird and not trustworthy guy who still has not presented that video footage. This concept of him doing some documentary, I don't really think has come together. That never really made sense to me either, what he was claiming, you know, the reasons for not to release the video. And then I was in communication with him just by DM. He came back onto Twitter after deleting his whole account on X, and he contacted me. And I said, okay, he's back. Let me be nice. And I said, you know, Dave, why don't you release the video, and you don't have to give it to me, and I'm not trying to make money from it. I just want to, you know, stabilize it at the highest resolution possible and see if there's anything in there that can help us, you know, sound, timing, whatever, because he's got it all edited up. I mean, what he's done is destroyed it from any useful standpoint as a piece of evidence. We don't know if he's added things, if he's removed things, if he's changed the timing of it. I mean, it's literally useless, which is why I was so angry when everybody, angry is the wrong word, but I was just so against the concept of, you know, using that as the main source of evidence, and I just totally abandoned it once the body cam police footage came around. And so Dave, this was like over Christmas time, because I was in Florida visiting my parents, and I was texting with him or DMing on Twitter, and he was just giving more stupid excuses about why he wouldn't release it. And I was like, Dave, come on, enough with this. Just put the footage out. You can still make your documentary, you know. And then he said something rude, and I was like, whatever. And he posted one of those cartoons of like a rabbi with a giant nose and, you know, just a really exaggerated, unflattering, like, you know, Nazi propaganda cartoon of a Jew. And it's like, dude, Come on, what kind of asshole are you? We're having a conversation and you come out with that? So I blocked him. He's a loser. But my point is, somebody said he's a meth head. I don't know, maybe. Doesn't seem like a corporate executive. You know, he's working at the gas station, sending me Hitler Jew memes. He's definitely an idiot. I don't know if he's a meth head or not, but that would make sense. You get a bunch of meth heads who don't know what they're doing, have them, you know, stand there, run video, get arrested, do whatever. It seems like that's the kind of people the cops and everybody using these confidential informants likes to use. Drug addicts, alcoholics, morons. That's their favorite kind of person. So this is what I wanted to talk about. I was looking up, this is one of the thoughts I started and didn't finish. OIA. Otherwise illegal activity. I got this from the DOJ Office of Inspector General Book of Guidelines. This is not a law. This is a DOJ guideline and the sort of rules that they've established for themselves about allowing people to commit crimes to knowingly commit crimes while they are confidential human informants. And they talk about not stage one, but first degree OIA, which includes allowing them to do crimes such as murder. Whitey Bulger. So what the hell is that? The government can decide, okay, this guy can do murder? How is that something that's allowed? But the point is, it seems quite obvious that somebody like crackhead Barney is granted this probably a class 2 in her case, which only allows you to do misdemeanors, but certainly harassment and the type of stuff she's doing on the street that, you know, criminal mischief, that type of stuff, she's allowed to do. They've granted her the authority to do that. Who granted the cops the authority to do that? That's not something that they should be allowed to do. What is this, a sample sale? I object to that they have this otherwise illegal activity. What's the limit? And who granted them the authority to tell people to go break the law? What's the point of having a government or a law enforcement agency that can decide who will break the law and what happens to the victims of these otherwise illegal activities? They get shafted is what it is. That's why the cops are telling me you're not allowed to sue them over this. That's why they're making up all this nonsense, because they're doing something undercover and covert, and they're trying to cover it up. And the judge knows that all of these people who choked me or did whatever, it seems, have the authorization to engage in these otherwise illegal activities. And then to what extent, once we have people who are allowed to do that, are they allowed to target them at me? Are they allowed to say, hey, Aaron Levi, go run up on that guy Jason Goodman and stalk him and pursue him around the city for the next 4 years? And when you have some Vietnamese lunkhead with you who weighs 300 pounds, get him to really intimidate Jason and encroach on his space and try to get Jason to throw a swing at you so that guy can break his head open, and then we'll come over and say, oh, we only saw the part where Jason assaulted, and last time he got choked, he got a misdemeanor. Now you can split his head open on the street, and let's give him a felony for that. That's what the cops are trying to do. That's why I say I hate the NYPD. And everybody's like, oh, you got to back the blue. Not when they're authorizing people to do things that are otherwise illegal and pointing them at me. I hate those people. They should all be fired and put in jail. Yeah, but this notion of attacking people based on the brand of car they own, that is not civilized. You don't have the moral high ground to do that. That is absolutely illegal, and it should be treated as domestic terrorism because it is specifically intended to achieve a political goal. That's the definition of terrorism. So take those people, stick them in Gitmo, and be done with it. Yeah, things getting filed now, end of the day in court here. All right, so we'll have to go upstairs and see what's going on. There's a big counter lawfare report coming, but it's not ready yet. It's still 59 degrees at 5 o'clock at night. That's good. Any questions, comments? I hope that people will sponsor the show. All of these court filings cost a lot of money, and of course that's not you guys' responsibility as the viewers, but if you would like, that dog wants Italian food. If you'd like to participate, if you'd like to help me do these legal cases, become a sponsor on odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, or subscribestar.com, or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. You can also subscribe on X at JG_CSTT. If you've got a huge amount of money burning a hole in your pocket, you can go to paypal.me/crowdsourcethetruth. People haven't used that in a while, but sponsor for any amount that you choose, or don't. You can watch the free shows, but lots of legal cases, lots of legal filings. There's still a Court of Common Pleas case that needs to be filed against the Beaver County ESU. We've got the Allegheny County medical examiner, but see, the Beaver County ESU, I won the case, and they've still refused to give the information. So that is going to require a writ of mandamus from the Pennsylvania Court of Common Pleas to tell the cops, you have to do this. I think they'll probably still not do it. But, I mean, what kind of cops are these that alter evidence, hide evidence, grant people the authority to do things that are illegal and then point them towards citizens? It's kind of horrible if you think about it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.